It's the Bring Your Pet to the Taping episode. I figured I've referenced my dog enough throughout my numerous videos and all, so I figured let's have her in one. I'm not sure I have any video of her doing anything. This is Sadie. She's my beagle. She's very old, but she's a sweetheart, aren't you, baby? And I figured we could do without her clanging up and down the hallways this week. You'll sit by me while we talk about Batman, won't you? Won't you? So... you stay here a little long. She's fine. She's fine. We're just trying to get her comfortable. Which is why we even brought her big bed in here. This big pillow she sleeps on. Alright. Issue 6 of Batman Eternal. But, of course, for that, the other goodies. All that build-up, and then other goodies. This week we've got issue 1 of Scribblenauts Unmasked, and issue 1 of Bee and Puppy Cat, which was a really awesome cartoon on Cartoon Hangover that I really, really enjoyed, and that you should go out and watch for yourselves. Although, I can't really highly recommend the comic. It was fine, but it was too short. And for $3.99, when I'm paying $2.99 for Scribblenauts and Batman, no. No. That is a bad Bee and Puppy Cat. Not to be confused with you, girl. Alright, so. Batman Eternal, Issue 6. A Spectre Lurks in the Shadows of Arkham. I've already said that I like the Spectre. The Spectre's a very cool character. I like what he does a lot. I like the whole idea of his character. Jim was out of the Spectre costume the whole time here, but as far as I'm concerned, Jim is one half of the Spectre. I mean, the Spectre is composed of both Jim and the Wandering Spirit, so in this case, I'm fine with that. I like Jim as a character as well. So there's that. Talking about what all happened in this issue, because it's another, we got a lot of the best stuff early so far. Issues 1 and 3 have been my favorites thus far. And since then, it's been a little bit weaker, but I'm still enjoying it. It's still good. Still waiting to see where everything goes. It is building on itself rather nicely. Just how many different storylines can we have running all at once? Jeez. I feel like I'm reading like 6 or 7 different Batman titles a month here. Or just a week, but it's just that I know I'm not going to get any resolution on them for a while. So what all is there to talk about? I'm not talking too loud for her. She's... Alright. You done here? Go on. You can go. Here comes that noise. I tried. She doesn't like to be in one place for too long. I laid your bed on the ground. You can come just sit on your bed. I'd offer it. Alright now. All distractions out of the way now. This week. So, Batwing was kind of big this week. Batwing had a lot to do, and I've never read Batwing's series. From what I always understood, he was the Batman of Africa, as far as, the Batman Incorporated stuff was concerned. I have no idea what he was doing in the New 52. That seemed really weird. But apparently this is not. This is the second Batwing. But the thing is, the Batwing contract seems to dictate he must be a black guy. I have no problem with that. So, I don't know anything about the first Batwing, but this is now the second Batwing, and he's Luke Fox, who is the son of Lucius Fox, who many of you might also know as Morgan Freeman. Yeah. I don't know if Luke existed in the I keep saying Old 52. I know I keep saying Old 52. It's not the Old 52. It was never called the Old 52. It was just the old universe. It's just what my brain goes to, I guess. So, I don't know if Luke was around in the old universe. Lucius Fox had a daughter in the old universe, I know for sure. She was Tammy. She was in Red Robin. And that was a really good series, and I liked her in that series. I liked Tammy Fox. But Luke Fox, I don't know. I don't know what he does or what role he's going to play here, but so he's the new Batwing, and he's fine, you know. A little too early for me to have impressions, especially about a character who's not been established yet. He's not like Stephanie, because like with Stephanie I already have expectations. With Luke, I don't know anything about the guy, so I don't have any expectations. So he will be whatever kind of character he ends up being, and that's fine. I just have no idea what kind of character he'll end up being yet, because I don't know the character. So hopefully he will turn out well. So yeah, and so the Spectre comes to Batman, telling him, you know, that he knows that there's this great big catastrophe coming. Ooh, good, I'm fine with that. Again, like I said, when Spectre says it, I pay attention. This wandering spirit of God's vengeance says shit's gonna go down. Shit is gonna go down. I have no doubt. So, him and Batwing are investigating Arkham Asylum for something going on there. We see a little bit of some cultish activity going on inside the asylum, which has already been hinted at because Blackfire was in there. And I am looking forward to seeing how that develops. I did read some of Batman the Cult now. I've got the first 2 books of it downloaded on my PC. I will buy legitimately. I always buy legitimately. It's just I haven't been able to find it anywhere, and I haven't ordered it yet because it's just not in the funds right now. But I will order it legitimately at some point. But just having read it, or having read what I have, I mean, yeah, I get why Batman the Cult is a really celebrated one-shot miniseries, whatever. It's simply because, yeah, it is pretty imposing, and it's got a good atmosphere to it, and Deacon Blackfire is pretty legitimately a badass. He's a pretty good villain, and I'm really surprised it took this long for us to see any more of him. I mean, it's been over 20 years now. But, you know, he looks like he's gonna be... If he's true to his character back then, he should be really good now. I think they were teasing he was going to be in Zero Year, but I'm not reading Zero Year, so I can't comment on that. But he might show up in Zero Year, or he might have already, I don't know. That would be interesting. And so, he's already got his claws deep in throwaway villain Dr. Phosphorus, who I've done nothing but call a throwaway villain because that's what I think he is. He's wasted potential, and the good potential became Blight in Batman Beyond. I know I've already said this, but I don't care. Boy. I bought a bunch of Batman Beyond comics on Free Comic Book Day because the issues were discounted at JCD and Hobby, so I had to betray mayhem to go back to my first comic book store for those. It is what it is. The situation, not Batman Beyond, because Batman Beyond's been really, really good. So, back to Eternal. It looks like the Blackfire cult is going to get more involved from here. And Phosphorus broke out of Arkham Asylum, is under the streets of Gotham, and basically sets off a big explosion right in front of the Batmobile, and it looks like, well, alright, so it looks like Batman and Phosphorus are going to have a confrontation now. Great. Why not? Not a big Phosphorus fan. Sure, he's going to go down pretty easy, but, you know, whatever gets us to our next step. What did the next comic tease? I'm trying to double-checking here. Piggy Pig Pig. So more Professor Pig stuff. I'm curious about where that's going to go. They seem determined to keep him in this story. And why not? He was involved. He seemed to have had a lot to do with all of this, including, the nanobots and those kids. So that's the issue. Batman's still investigating everything. Batwing and a non-powered Spectre going to Arkham Asylum. And now he's out. Phosphorus is out, and it looks like him and Batman are gonna have a fight. Great. I don't know. It's not quite doing it for me the way it was at first. And I'm not at all saying it's going to end badly. I'm not at all saying this series is even going bad right now. It's just like, the shifting narratives, particularly in the first 4 issues, the shifting narratives were really kind of on top of everything. Now, we're working with 1 or 2 narratives a week, and we keep adding more! There's only so much, there's only so much it makes sense to do all at one time. I would like to see one of these plots resolve a little quicker, and maybe none of them will resolve until the very, very end, the 52nd or 60th, or whatever Snyder said was going to be the last issue, but still... I'd like to have a better idea what's going on in one of these stories we've already started. Please. Please. At least Batman's still talking about the Falcone situation. At least he's still trying to deal with the Roman. Which works. That's a high priority here. Especially with the potential of the police war escalating. So there's that. But, man... Hopefully we are almost done with these, different, non-converging narratives for a little while. I know there's a lot of stories they want to tell. There's a lot of stories you can tell with a weekly series in a year. But I would like to feel like one of them got a little more resolution before we just keep adding another one, and here's one for you, and one for you, and one for you. And all of that, and I slipped into Beavis mode for a moment, excuse me. Oh, man, it's just like, it's been 2 weeks since we last saw Steph, and I'm not going to pretend like this is her series, it's not. She's not the main character, so I'm not going to sit here like, more of her! No, I want more of her, but it would be completely hyperbolic to expect that we're going to get that much of her this early on, especially pre-costume and everything. But even just what did Crystal say? What did she mean when she said, "You have a problem, Arthur"? I'm still wondering about that. Is she on his side, or is she saying, you should have given this up years ago, damn it? Which did she mean? I'm still waiting on that to resolve itself. I don't expect the Red Robin thing to resolve itself quickly, but just a little hint of that would have been nice. At least he was working with the Gazette, so the Gazette story got to move along a little bit. Everything gets to move along, little by little by little. It's slow, but that's good. I'm fine with a slow burn. I just want to feel like I'm seeing just a tiny bit more resolution on the part of any of these other characters. But, what are you going to do? There's only so much you can accomplish in a series like this at a time. Although, in contradiction to that, those Scribblenauts comics are friggin' insane. Just in how many pop culture references they can throw at you, and genuinely good, funny ones, too. It's about the only comic series I know that will make back-to-back Mario and Doctor Who references. And just how much story they can cram in these relatively short comics. This isn't a jumbo edition, but a lot happens in here, and even more happens in the later issues. I just got to number 1, and it's the smallest of the bunch, but I had already read 2, 3, and 4, and they just get gradually more and more utterly frickin' insane. So that's what you can do with you're running with high premise, but high concept, whatever. But with that said, I'm still enjoying Batman Eternal. I am, and I hope I continue to still enjoy it, and if nothing else, well, we'll have Steph in the spoiler costume at least by issue 39, I think. She, you know, whenever the preview issue was, the whatever right before that, whatever. So, with that in mind, those are my thoughts on issue 6. Hopefully we'll see where that pig situation goes. Barbara might be back, as Barbara was hunting down the pig dudes, although she might have gone after the soap opera star, whatever his name was. Maybe they're associated. Maybe we'll see more of both of those plot threads. I can hope. And I can also hope that we're not going to add another friggin' storyline here, because we've got quite enough for the moment already. Okay? Snyder, DC, I know you don't watch my show. I know you probably have your entire year-long event planned out. But I'm just saying, you can spread it out a little more. Let's get a little more resolution on something here. Please. And I suppose we'll find out if you manage that or not next week. I can't believe it's only been 1 week since issue 5, because it is so friggin' cold today. You remember me saying how sweltering hot it was last week? No, it got very cold very fast. Iowa sucks. I'll see you next week.